Bottom of the ninth, tied 4-4. McGwire on, Mabry base hit. They're gonna send him. That's what I call a Big Mac attack. Langston goes for the Padres tonight. These two have history. In April, what'd you expect? The Padres have an MVP, an answer to McGwire. His name is Greg Vaughn, as in gone. Fox Sports Midwest presents Cardinals Baseball, brought to you by Budweiser, Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Southwestern Bell, go wireless with someone you know. By Pizza Hut and the Edge Pizza, great taste to the edge. By your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer, exclusive automotive dealer of the Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. By Discover Card, the card that pays you back. And by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. Fly Southwest, the official airline of the Cardinals. Coming up next, Matt Morris takes the mound for the Redbirds. It's the Cardinals in San Diego, and Morris is going to try and get his team on a winning streak. Welcome to Jack Murphy Field at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego as the Cardinals get set to take on the first place Padres. Hello again, everybody. Al Hrabosky is here. I'm Bob Ramsey, bringing you Cardinals baseball tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. Al, the Cardinals embark on this road trip, and the Cardinals have Matt Morris on the mound against Mark Langston. Let's take a look at our Chrysler Plymouth key matchup for this evening. And you'll see, as I mentioned in the open, Al, Mark McGwire and Mark Langston have a history. That's our key matchup. And Mark McGwire has some funny numbers against lefties so far this year.
Well, he has 5 home runs, including this one against Langston. And you saw earlier in our key matchup, 5 career bombs against Langston. But what is unusual and what you're talking about is Mark McGwire usually owns left-handed pitching. This year, it's not as prolific as years in past. But maybe tonight, seeing a familiar face will get him unplugged.
Let's take a look at our Southwest Airlines starting lineups for tonight. And the Redbirds go with what I think for the time being is pretty much the regular lineup. Clayton, Lankford, McGwire, Jordan, Gant, Gaetti. Eli Marrero is behind the plate, catching Matt Morris in his 4th start of the season, and hitting in the number 9 spot as the pitcher hitting 8th experiment continues. It'll be Pat Kelly, and they'll face this veteran left-hander, Mark Langston.
You're right. You're talking about a veteran, 14 seasons in the major leagues. He was on the disabled list earlier this season with a strained left shoulder. He's a 4-time American League All-Star, 7-time Rawlings Gold Glove Award winner. 3 times he led the American League in strikeouts in his first 4 major league seasons. And he's 3-2 this season, but he pitches extremely well here at home. Can you believe it? He's 2-0 and an ERA of 0.39 and just a couple starts, but 4 starts here at Qualcomm.
His numbers at home are spectacular. Let's take a look at the Padres defense. The regulars all the way around. Hernandez behind the plate. Mark Langston on the mound, and that's who the Padres are going to go with down the stretch. Let's take a look at the arbiters for this evening. Charlie Williams behind the plate. Mark Wegner, Ed Rapuano, and Bruce Dreckman rounded out. Bruce Dreckman didn't get a lot of praises from Jack McKeon over the weekend, did he?
No, but he got his name mentioned.
He sure did.
We won't go into that.
No, we won't. We're ready to get this one underway as the Cardinals would like to win 2 in a row. National television last night. The Cardinals win it in the bottom of the ninth. You saw that highlight. Probably see that one again before it's all over. And Royce Clayton will lead it off. Royce stands in, hitting .235, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. Popped it up back this way. Strike 1. Langston used to have a decent and respectable fastball. Once he had surgery a couple of seasons ago, Al, his velocity's really gone down, and he really has to be crafty and near perfect to be good.
Well, he has to be what we normally associate with left-handers. Crafty, but a veteran guy, knows he can pitch up and down. And, you know, really make his fastball, make it 4 different pitches. But he also has to rely on those breaking balls, but he can't pitch in the heart of the plate.
Missed inside, 2 balls and a strike. It's been all or nothing for Langston this season. Of his starts, 4 of them have been terrific, and all of his terrific ones, as the numbers tell you, have been at home. Chopped off his foot, 2-2. In fact, the numbers are awesome at home. In his 4 starts, only 1 earned run here at home. However, the numbers on the road are grotesque. But since he's at home, you know, he would like to continue that streak against the Cardinals. 2-2 pitch, chop foul. We'll do it again.
I mentioned that Langston, a 14-year vet, as you see an error committed by Rene.
Thought I heard the clank up here.
But I was just looking, you know, looking at some of his record. When you look about active leaders and victories, he's 7th with 174. Eckersley is 2nd. Active major league leaders, game started.
Well hit into left. Vaughn goes back to the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Clayton spanked it. He makes the turn, and he's going to try and go to third. Here's the throw. He is safe at third. Oh, and Ken Caminiti tried the backhand. Sweet tag, Al Hrabosky. He thought he had him.
All right, there's a rule. You never want to make the first out of an inning at third base, and it was a little bit risky, but now that he's safe, we can all relax a little bit and say thank you very much.
And that's a play where it's right in front of the base runner, Al.
Yeah, nobody can help him. Look at there. Change up off speed, high off the wall, very questionable. Right near the panda. And Vaughn, not noted as a good outfielder.
Right
but
there, a step past the bag.
Yeah, the one thing he does is have a pretty good throwing arm. And I think a very good call that he's safe. He's in there before the tag.
Just a slight hesitation on the sweep. Dreckman makes the call. Jack McKeon, the Reds manager, would have said he saved up the good ones. He's on at third base with nobody out for Ray Lankford, who started to pick it up again, and that's great to see. Tried to jack one there. There you see 325 in the last 10 games, Al, and that's what we were looking for. Ray had been in a funk for a couple of weeks, maybe even closer to a month.
Oh, I think a little longer than that, but starting to relax a little bit. There's time for everyone to pull deep within and come out of this funk.
The ball gets behind Hernandez, but Clayton's not going anywhere.
Where Ray has to say, I want this easy RBI. Sacrifice fly will get the job done, even pulling the ball on the right side. Pull to the right side, and Royce is going to score. They're playing back. They know more than one run's going to.
Well hit into left field. Just in case, Clayton tagged up, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Lankford makes the turn, and he thought about going on to third, and he says, I'll wait for Mark McGwire. So Ray Lankford, I thought that was a particularly terrific swing, the way he stayed back on it and went the other way.
Well, more importantly than that Langston tried to drop down sidearm. So that's usually, Bob, where you're going to pull off the pitch, and he kept that front shoulder right in there, and so he kept the good part of the bat there. And not only did he deliver the run, see, that's a sidearm pitch, but instead of getting it further away, he left it kind of down and in, inside out swing, and we have 2 extra base hits. First base is open, but it appears they're going to pitch to McGwire.
1-0 Cardinals, and the pitch up high for a ball. Did not go. Ball 1 to Mark McGwire. That is Ray Lankford's 50th RBI of the season.
Big Mac has had 50 at-bats against Langston, 16 hits, and 5 of those have gone over the board.
Inside, ball 2. Two hitters, 5 total bases, a run for the Cardinals. McGwire wants to keep this going. Called strike on the outside corner. Those are the kind of pitches that Langston has to make consistently to be good.
Well, he can't pitch on just one side of the plate. He's got to pitch on both sides of the plate and change speeds.
2 balls and a strike to McGwire. If you just joined us, the Cardinals are already on top, 1-0. A leadoff triple from Clayton and then a double by Lankford drove him home. And McGwire has a chance as the Cardinals give Matt Morris an early lead. See if they can add to it. Hard hit, base hit. Lankford goes on to third. He had to wait for it to go through, and now he's going to try and score. The throw from Vaughn. Dead duck at the plate. Dead duck at the plate, and while Hernandez dropped the ball, they're going to go ahead and say he was clearly out. Well, LaRussa's going to come out and say, wait a minute, did he clearly pull that ball out of his glove?
Charlie Williams here is saying yes, in the effort to extract the ball is when he dropped it. So he's saying it's a voluntary release. It's a judgment call. Greg Vaughn has said he didn't have it particularly not noted as an outfielder, but his throwing is not that bad. That's the strongest part of his defensive game. Clearly running into the out.
Take another look here.
Here's a good look right here. It really wasn't a hard contact. Oh no, there's no way that he took it out of the glove.
He bobbled it.
And he's trying, and then Hernandez is trying to say he pulled the ball out, but they didn't do that either.
No, he didn't.
He's preparing for a big collision, and really not much of one happens.
Well, on those kind of calls, the Cardinals are 0 for 2. We go back to a game we did in Minnesota. Brian Jordan got called on not making a catch, although we thought that he clearly pulled the ball out of the glove. And the rule book may indicate that you have to actually make the move to throw it. Hernandez wasn't even able to pull it out of the glove.
Right there, he positioned himself. Then he's saying Ray kind of pulled it out, but he did not. The hand was in there, but it just dribbled off the fingertip.
The other point is, Al, though, it was a very aggressive gamble because Lankford hesitated to make sure that ball went through. So that was pretty aggressive, and it didn't pay off for the Cardinals.
I don't feel that you can make that. I mean, I like to see a third base coach be aggressive.
Sure.
But in that case, I can't have the first out of this game with Brian Jordan coming up.
At the plate.
At the plate, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like we're down to our pitcher hitting there, so, you know, Latch be man enough. He'll think about it, but I think we would have been better off with first and third. McGwire did go to second when the ball dropped.
Sure did. Well hit into center field, and that's going to be a double play to get out of the inning. How about that? When the ball left Jordan's bat, it did look like it was going to drop in, but you know what? It didn't drop in. And the Cardinals had a chance for a huge inning, had come up with only one. Mark Langston was fortunate in the top of the inning. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Cardinals have a lead, but it could have been much worse for the Padres left-hander. Let's take a look at our Southwest Airlines Padres lineup that Bruce Bochy sends out. Veras, Gwynn, Caminiti, Vaughn, Joyner, Finley, Hernandez, Gomez, Langston. First 6 hitters are, say, 2 through 6. Al, you could probably put in almost any order. They're that good. They could hit anywhere in that lineup just about, and they'll face young Matt Morris.
Well, it's a good lineup for Matt to face. He's still looking for his first win. This is his 4th start of the season. 3rd since returning to the rotation on July the 10th after spending nearly 3 months on the DL with a strained right shoulder.
Take a look at our Cardinals defense as Vera stands in. Gant, Lankford, Jordan, Gaetti. That's Pat Kelly at second base. Eli Marrero behind the plate for Morris, and Vera stands in, hitting .283.
Vera's switch hitter and very good leadoff man.
Got that on-base percentage up around .390. Al has 18 stolen bases. Will take walks. I mean, really has done a nice job for these Padres.
Well, a couple years ago, he led the National League in steals when he was with the Marlins. Then he had almost an acute hamstring problem. Kept on lingering and lost not only the stolen base title, he lost his job and then got traded. What a catch by that youngster.
Nice hands. Chopped to the right side. McGwire will make the play with a first out.
Hey, you know, one thing real quick as we take a good look at Matt Morris. Last week, I forgot about a special birthday, but I wanted to say happy birthday to Tom Colonnane Sr. It was his birthday on July 15th, and I wrote it down in my book. I forgot about it. You know, his son, Dr. Tom Colonnade of Optical Expressions in West County.
Well, happy birthday, senior. Tony Gwynn stands in. Gwynn hitting .313.
Must be a misprint. 313?
What a
Tony
horrible
Gwynn?
season. Just dreadful. How can he stay in the lineup? That's how good Tony Gwynn is. If he's hitting .313, it's a slump.
Well, let's put it this way. 30th on the all-time hit list. Look at that. 30th on the all-time hit list.
He just
And
passed somebody.
one more hit, he gets 22, is his 2200th single. His next single will be 2200 singles.
Tony Gwynn is one of the great professionals in this ball game. He's one of the things. He just passed Frankie Frisch, by the way, to rank 30th on the all-time hit total. 2,881. Talk about things that are good about the game. Tony Gwynn is special. Two balls and two strikes. Well, if you were worried about Tony Gwynn, don't. You can see what he did against the Reds.
Well, I think he had something like, he went 0 for 18. He was only 7.
The longest slump of his career.
7 for 37 on the road trip, and in there it was 0 for 18, the longest of his career.
Shot into right center field. Way back into the gap. Ray Lankford runs it down for the second out. Gwynn put a charge in, before Tony gets back to the dugout. His average just over 300, not the 340, 350, 360 we expect. But every time, if there's a runner in scoring position or on base, you absolutely have confidence that he'll get the job done one way or the other. Well, every single time.
He has such great hands and body mechanics. He knows himself better than anybody else, except maybe his wife, because she's his hitting coach.
Ken Caminetti stands in after a slow start. His average and numbers are coming around. He bounces it up the middle, however. And young Matt Morris goes 3 up, 3 down on the bottom of the first. We'll head to the second in San Diego, 1-0 Cardinals. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. As we go to the top of the second inning, Morris and McGwire.
And McKay. It must be an alphabetical order, right?
Yeah.
The M squad have to sit together.
A little more discipline on this team, so they're going to try and put them in order on the bench.
You know, I was alluding a little bit to looking at some of the stuff about Mark Langston, where he ranks amongst active pitchers.
Strike one as he gets ahead again.
And it really tells you a story of also Dennis Eckersley. But amongst active pitchers in victories, Langston is 7th, 174 victories. Eckersley is 2nd, 193.
That's up and in. You take a look.
Games started. Check out this. Langston is 2nd in games started to Roger Clemens. Langston has 407. Eckersley, who hasn't started a game in more than a decade, is on the 9th on the all-time list, 361.
You know what's interesting about that list, Al, as you go back, you take a look at the top of the list, probably the top 3 are Hall of Famers. And we are just talking about the era. You look at the guys that we've seen in this era of baseball, some real stars. Three balls and a strike to Ron Gant. He walks Ron again. Hey, don't forget, July 29th, the Cardinals take on the Brewers at Busch Stadium, and it's Six Flags Senior Citizen Night at the ballpark. All fans 55 and over with a paid admission will receive a free senior pass to Six Flags, valid through September 7th. That's the 29th. It's a Wednesday, and the Cardinals take on the Brewers. Ron Gant on with a walk, and here is Gary Gaetti. Despite his advanced age in baseball years, not eligible for Six Flags Night at the ballpark. Not eligible. Gant aboard. Would he like to run? Legs feeling pretty good as that one's fouled off. Ron only has 4 stolen bases. We'd been like to dreams of sugar plum fairies at Christmas time all winter long, thinking of a 30-30 outfield all the way across. Gant only has 4 stolen bases, but he had leg problems for much of the first half of the year. Fouled off.
Well, the trio of outfielders right now don't have 30 stolen bases amongst them. They only have 24.
Not exactly. Sometimes our dreams turn to nightmares,
right.
don't they?
How about, there's Ray. He's got 9. Jordan has 11.
Gant with 4.
But they can get...
We're on a pace for a 10-10 outfield.
No. They're gonna put a charge.
Hey, ring him up.
I'm glad to see that. That's the first strikeout for Langston tonight, but on active major leaguers. Langston started the season at 3rd. He is now past Dennis Eckersley for 2nd place. But Eckersley is 2nd on the all-time. Well, he's 3rd now. Langston moved him this year. That was his 40th strikeout of the year, giving him 2,405. Eckersley started the season 2,379. There's 2nd and 3rd to Roger Clemens. And Eckersley leads by far in innings pitched. Langston is 4th.
Eli Marrero stands in with a runner aboard and 1 out. Eli has been almost terrific behind the plate on a near daily basis. And while when he hits the ball, he hits it hard, he rarely sees a pitch he doesn't like. And that's part of the growing process for a young hitter.
Yeah, he's very aggressive, and he will adjust and he will learn as he becomes more experienced.
When he hits him hard. That one was yanked foul.
That was a great, demonstration of the aggressiveness. But boy, you'd rather be able to tell a guy how to turn it down a notch. Then it's very difficult to teach someone how to turn his motions and his vibes up. This is show you how the ball jumps off his bat right there.
He's got the bat speed. As Al told you, just get her under control. Gant with the lead, and Langston throws over again.
Well, Langston used to have that big high leg kick, and a lot of guys used to steal bases off him, and hopefully the Cardinals will try.
Gant with the leadoff walk. Gaetti rung up. Marrero will try to advance him. That missed. Ball and a strike. Don't forget Matt Morris on deck, hitting in the 8th slot.
And Morris, a good hitting pitcher.
Hitting 250 coming in. Gant, average lead. Now he tries to jump off a little bit. Langston checks him. Here's the pitch. 2-1.
Let's get a running game going. Come on. A lot of times he even counts. Many times counts such as this, 2-1.
Gant edges off, quick throw over, back easily. A warm and unusually humid night here in San Diego. They actually had thunderstorms in San Diego today. Very strange. Fly ball center field. He was reaching out for that one, and Finley makes the easy catch for the 2nd out. Gant still at first base. And that brings up Matt Morris.
Number 35.
And you see the skies look a little more normal, but kind of felt like the Midwest earlier today.
Yeah, just very unusual, very warm weather out here. Not the humidity, but did have the lightning storms and thunderstorm that popped up. Flash flooding reports in the mountain area.
There's a strike to Morris. Langston winning the battle between he and Gant. Ron's having a tough time figuring out the crafty left-hander's move. He keeps dancing back as the pitch is delivered. See how this cat and mouse game continues. That time he hung in there, but Morris was no match, and Matt's in the hole 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Cardinals get a leadoff walk and couldn't advance the runner. And as we go to the bottom of the second inning, Mark Langston and the Padres trail 1-0. Back in San Diego, a chance to look at our Casino Queen leaderboard. How good are the San Diego Padres? Well, everybody's been talking about the Yankees all year. The Padres at home, we told you earlier, have a chance to really go after the National League all-time record at home. And that was set by the Cincinnati Reds, the Big Red Machine back in the 70s. Bruce Bochy has this team playing very, very well and almost spectacular here at Qualcomm.
Yeah, Tony Gwynn, the paper dates on about, hey, we want to have the best overall record in the National League. They're just slightly behind the Atlanta Braves because they want the, they're changing the format a little bit where there is home field advantage now.
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
The playoffs are, as most of us feel they should be, best record, home field advantage. Swing and a miss to Vaughn. Now let's take a look at In the Groove highlights from B.F. Goodrich. That's a little bit of a groove there, I would say, Al.
Yeah, he's just been outstanding. He carried in the first half, and he continues to hit well. They're saying now he is a legitimate MVP candidate in the National League.
He is having a career year. He's a veteran.
Now, if you remember, too, though, he had 41 home runs in 96 when he combined between Milwaukee and the Padres. And they tried to trade him last year because he was so bad. And the Yankees made a deal for him, but then he failed the physical. And now they say it's the best trade that was never made.
Yeah, having a career year this year, having a career worst year last year. Kind of an even Steven. Adios. Gone as in gone. We're tied 1-1.
That is 35th home run, 85 RBIs for Vaughn. He ties this game, and that's what they keep on saying, that he just has been the real offensive carrying this ball club. And remember, they're in first place. That's got to be some MVP votes. The breaking ball sat right up there, didn't do much, but go a long way.
Vaughn crushed it. This is Wally Joyner, and Morris gets ahead.
Well, you said in the open, the answer to McGwire for the Padres is Greg Vaughn.
And there he proved it. One ball and a strike to Joyner. Fouled it off, 1-2.
First home run allowed by Matt Morris this season. And it's legitimate. See, it's a spinning breaking ball, but it just sort of hung right up there. And he knew what to do with it.
Yes, sir. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Joyner, who's having another nice season. 318, 7 homers, 57 RBIs. Real solid professional, Wally Joyner.
Well, Wally, last 2 games of Cincinnati series was 0 for 6. But that came right after having a 24-game hitting streak. And during that time, he hit 368. 8 doubles, a triple, a pair of home runs, and 21 RBIs.
Fouls that one off. Full count. Popped it up. Gaetti may have a chance near the dugout, near the camera box. Gary makes it look easy. Out number 1. It's fight time on Fox. Every jab, every hook, every body blow, every uppercut. A left, a right, and another left. The sweet science practiced by today's best fighters. Fight time on Fox. Friday at 7 on Fox Sports Midwest. Steve Finley stands in. An off year for Finley, but he still patrols center field like nobody's business. We'll see if McGwire or Morero have a chance near the stands. 1 row in. and that portion of the stands is elevated, they'd have to be on the railing, and even then you probably wouldn't have a chance. The stands are about 8 feet off the ground there.
Well, Matt comes all the way over, checking himself with the stands.
Pop back this way.
I mentioned Finley having an off season. Normally we see him way up towards the top, but you know, he's 42 RBIs, the 8 home runs, 245 average, has gone way up from earlier in the season, and he's on an 8-game hitting streak.
And as always, impeccable defense. Really is a nice anchor out there. Tony Gwynn does a very good job in right, but having Finley patrolling the gaps between Vaughn and Gwynn is a nice luxury. And probably Boshi would say it's not a luxury. If we're going to win, it's a necessity to have a center fielder like Steve Finley.
You got to have defense up the middle.
Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Matt Morris had him go fishing for strikeout number 1 for the Redbird right-hander.
Matt really pitching well, hitting his spots, and look at that. Look at the ball just sliding away. Look at the way Morero catches it, but yet it was good enough to tantalize Finley to make him swing and go after it.
Carlos Hernandez standing in. He'll probably end up splitting in the future, splitting a lot of time with Jim Laritz, who had just been picked up by the Padres, so they really strengthened themselves.
There's Sweeney. Mark Sweeney, a big part of this ball club. You know, he's had a super season pinch hitting last year, and he's having a little trouble this year, but he means so much in a clubhouse. Just his presence there just keeps everyone loose and pumped up in a very fine fashion.
Hernandez. Outside, 1 and 2.
Hernandez was the kind of guy that was always kind of a backup man in the Dodgers system, but got a chance to play over here and tell you he can do it.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but Vaughn hit a bomb to tie the game. We'll go to the 3rd. Our score in San Diego, 1-1. Guests appearing on Cardinal Baseball receive a gift certificate to Krieger's Pub and Grill, St. Louis's neighborhood bar and grill. Visit any one of their 6 locations, including the newest and historic St. Charles. Here's the man that did some damage to tie this game 1-1. Well, the Cardinals with their number 2 leadoff man start the 3rd inning. That's right, the newest Redbird, Pat Kelly, hitting in the 9-hole, ostensibly a 2nd leadoff man. Wants to bunt his way on, pushes it nicely. It's a race. Langston underhands and got it there. It slowed down just enough that Langston could catch up to it, Al. Not a bad idea, and almost executed nicely.
Well, remember Langston, 7 Gold Gloves. Now, a lot of times a left-hander will fall to the 3rd base side, so you bunt it down the 1st base side, and took an exceptional play. He bounces off here, and a little shovel toss to his first baseman. But when you win 7 Gold Gloves, you aren't going to pull the element of surprise on someone.
Royce Clayton now with 1 away. Royce tripled off the top of the left field wall in the 1st inning. He ended up scoring the Cardinals' run. All in no strikes now. Clayton standing in with a .237 batting average. Well hit. This one might get out of here. Gone! 2 ropes off the bat of Royce Clayton. 2 swings, 6 total bases, and the Cardinals are back on top as Royce Clayton hits his 4th home run of the year.
Well, do you think there's any, you think maybe this is a little audition for Royce? Well, potential free agent. There's been some talk about possibility of the Padres wanting to acquire his services. Of course, that one kid just barehanded that drive, but Royce has got the 2 most difficult parts of hitting for the cycle already in. The homer and the triple.
Absolutely. He scored both Cardinal runs. 4th homer, 28th RBI. Puts the Cardinals right back on top as he and Greg Vaughn exchange home runs.
Tripled the first time, just missing a home run by just a foot. And here he said, well, I'll pull the ball a little bit. Boy, both of these balls were spanked.
Misses outside. 2-1.
Royce and Subban, they're engaged, aren't they? They're engaged, okay. Where would you go on your honeymoon? Where did you go?
Well, let's see. Swing and a miss to Lankford. Where did I go?
Well,
we don't want to go for the humor. Okay, I went to Disney World.
You went to, well, that's fine. But Ted and Gail Ramey, they're spending their honeymoon. They got married 2 days ago, and they're spending the honeymoon following the Redbirds.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me that's where
they gave me all the. They gave me two games in San Diego, then they go to Frisco, and then Colorado. I got their whole itinerary, but they want to say hello to all their family and friends back home. Congratulations to Gail and Ted Ramey on their marriage.
Ray Lankford walks in front of McGwire. Ray has done such a good job in front of McGwire, but between him and DeShields, I don't know if you could get much better. Ray has really shined hitting in front of Mark. Now he's on at first with one away. McGwire had a base hit his first time. Hitting .305. Had a hack, fouled it off.
Tony La Russa making a point about McGwire and the home run chase, saying really not fair to put McGwire in the same category as, say, Vaughn now and Griffey and Sosa, or whoever you want to talk about it, because with that major league leading 102 walks, these other guys are getting much more greater opportunity to go long ball.
Absolutely. Langston throw over to first. Tony La Russa does not like to get into ruts so that his team can get scouted. You may have wondered why Lankford would throw over, or why Langston would throw over to Ray Lankford. Ray has run on rare occasions to the right side, a base hit for McGwire. Put the bat on the ball and good things will happen. They had the McGwire shift on, and Mark rolled one through the right side, and it's first and third with one away.
Well, you know, McGwire scored the winning run last night, so he's playing little man's ball. He liked that.
He's a Judy hitter.
Yeah, can't hit the long ball, just bleeders through the infield. Right off the end of the bat, put a little more chalk on the pull cue, but yet it beats the defense. That's the second baseman running all the way from the shortstop side of second to go after that ball.
Well, once again, the walk in front of McGwire. Mark puts the bat on the ball, and suddenly Langston and the Padres are in a world of hurt. First and third, one away, one run already in on a bomb from Royce Clayton. Now Brian Jordan, who hit the ball pretty well to center field, 0 for 1, has a chance.
They're going to make an appeal play to second, saying Lankford missed second base. And Ed Rapuano, the second base umpire there, said yes, he got it.
Pitch to Jordan. Missed inside. One ball, no strikes to Jordan. Lankford over at third, McGwire on at first. To the left side. Base hit. Lankford will score. Cardinals on top, 3-1, as Brian Jordan comes through with his 60th RBI. Ray Lankford trots home as Jordan hit the ball hard. forced it through into the hole between short and third.
Brian's been hitting a lot of ground balls with Mack in front of him. Matter of fact, he's grounded into 14 double plays and hit this one, found a hole, and got through, and gives the Cardinals that third run.
Now Ron Gant really turned on one and just missed. Hey folks, Fox Sports Midwest and McDonald's want to put you in the path of a Mark McGwire homer. That's right, we're filling Big Mac Land at Busch with Cardinal fans who want to see you there. If you'd like to win tickets to Big Mac Land and be at ground zero of the Mark McGwire home run chase, visit participating St. Louis area McDonald's right away and enter to win. Who knows, you might be there with us on August 11th. Did somebody say McDonald's? Swing and a miss. 0-2.
So John McCook and McDonald's are saying that that's when he's going to break the record, August the 11th?
I think our good buddy John McCook and all the regular Mac people out there are saying that's the day, huh? We shall see.
This brings up a good point. A lot of people think that Cardinals are sold out the rest of, or in the month of September, or even through. There's still tickets available for every single game in the second half. But I wouldn't wait long.
Don't give up. Be a part of history. Popped it up. Shallow right field. Actually just behind the infield. Viras will make the catch easily.
Infield
for the second out.
Number 8, third baseman Gary Gaetti.
Well, first and second, and Gary Gaetti will have a chance to try and continue this inning. After the first out was made by Kelly, Cardinals had 4 straight players reach base, the homer, the walk, and 2 singles, but the pop out from Gant has 2 on, 2 out for Gary Gaetti and a miss inside, ball 1. Gary was rung up looking. He's 0 for 1 and hitting .254. Gary didn't get a good look at that pitch. Wasn't a lot of much of a swing. Al, he got tied up. It's 1-1.
That's still that Langston slider that fools a lot of hitters.
Up high with the fastball. 2-1. Well, you might not have said this before last night, but now you just got to say a base hit scores McGwire, right?
I think he was so proud of himself.
Well, you gave him a nickname
slide
when he got on the plane last night.
Tom?
Wheels McGwire. Boy, Gary is not getting a very good look at Langston. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes.
There you can see what Langston's pretty well owned Gary Gaetti.
He's got him tied up here. It's a full count. Maybe Gary's due. The runners are going. Hey, ring him up second straight time, and Gary Gaetti does not like it. The Cardinals did score 2, but again, Langston avoids a huge inning by the Redbirds. Clayton left the yard. Jordan drove in the run. It's 3-1 St. Louis. We've got a leaky ballpark. No, it's Raging Rivers night coming up August 10th. The Cardinals and the Mets. All right, stop the faucets. Fans, all fans 11 years and under with a paid admission receive a coupon good for free admission to Raging Rivers Water Park. That's why we had the faucet going. Raging Rivers, of course, in Grafton, Illinois, and the pass will be valid through September 7th. That's Monday, August 10th. It's the Cardinals, the Mets. It's Raging Rivers night at the ballpark, and this is Chris Gomez taking ball 1 here in the bottom of the third. 3-1 St. Louis. Called strike on the outside corner. Gomez hitting .243. Morris paints the outside corner again and gets ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, Morris. Oh, there's
Matt.
Matt. Boy, we know we're going to win now. Know there'll be some home runs from McGwire, too.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3 straight strikeouts for Matt Morris.
Matt McGwire. And a chance to bat boy again. His dad's our first baseman, in case you didn't know.
Good-looking kid. Langston stands in, hitting 125. One ball and a strike as he chops that one.
You know, Matt Morris has learned his slider this season from Todd Stottlemyre, and it's become a very good weapon for him.
Yeah, originally he had that curveball, which is good,
it.
and it's bigger break, but the boy tightened that rotation, and it's been very nasty.
Well, Todd, you know, very generous, helping out. Much as a Jeff Brantley has helped with the maturing process over Rick Kraushower, some of the other guys down there in the bullpen. These veterans have roles when they're not pitching. You know, they can help the younger players.
2-2 to Langston. To the left side, Gaetti smothers it and throws him out. 2 down. Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you in part by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, by Pizza Hut and the Edge Pizza, great taste to the edge, and by Auto Tire. Auto Tire, the home of bottom line pricing. 2 up, 2 down, 5 in a row retired by Morris. And this is Kilvio Viras. 282 hitter. Chopped one to McGwire. 3 unassisted. He's 0 for 1. Fastball. For a strike. Viras stepped out a little bit, maybe trying to break up some of that rhythm. Morris is, as I said, after that home run, retired 5 in a row in dominating fashion.
Well, he's only allowed 1 base runner, and he took a trip around the bases.
Hacked foul. 2-2.
Matt is an extremely quick worker, and hitters, oftentimes, they like to set the tempo. They don't like a pitcher who sets a quick pace, so that's why you'll see him put 1 foot in, trying to get him ready himself.
Little mini soapbox. I don't think Major League Baseball should allow that. Stand in there. And I don't think pitchers like you should have been allowed to do that. Get up there and pitch. Hitters get in there and hit. Just trying to be fair. Pitchers and hitters.
Yeah, well,
we don't need 3.5-hour games.
Who asked you to write a rule book?
Now, if I'd have just said the hitter, I'd have been all right, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, it's not as bad as Mike Hargrove.
I overstepped my bounds. I apologize.
Yes, you did.
Let me back off on that. Let me send that back through the house. Fouled back and out of play.
Maybe we'll have to have that running water wash out the booth here in a
that's
second.
Right. Actually, now that I think about it, that was very entertaining. I like when pitchers get set for each pitch. You, Rick Kraushower. 2-2 to Viras. Boy, a pesky at bat. Morris has thrown about 9 pitches to him.
That's a good way to dictate the pace and to make Morris throw pitches. Remember, this is 3rd start since his 3 months on the disabled list.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 4 strikeouts now in the game for Matt Morris. He came back and got Viras. He's retired 6 in a row. The Cardinals lead 3-1. For baseball, it's Fox Sports News Prime Time. All the scores, all the stories, all the action from your primetime team 7 days a week. We are there. Fox Sports News Prime Time after the game, a full 2-hour Fox Sports News Prime Time. That means every single highlight, spanning the globe for highlights for you on Fox Sports News. We've got cricket from Australia, bocce ball from Sicily. You want it, we got it on Fox Sports News after the game. This is Eli Marrero leading it off. Squares the bunt, takes a strike. Marrero 0 for 1, average down to 216 now. Hard hit, fair ball. The umpire kicked it into left field. In honor of the World Cup, Marrero slides in safely. He'll get a double. And how about Bruce Dreckman? He got up and bicycled practically. He put that one into left field. He was trying to put that on goal on the corner kick. Marrero at second base. He would have had a double anyway, Al Hrabosky.
Well, I think Bruce Dreckman is very happy that he did get the double, because, you know, normally it's going to be at least an automatic double down in the left field corner. And it's one of the most embarrassing things that can happen to an umpire, is to be hit by a batted ball. But you hate to have it, you know, take away an extra base hit from a player.
What I appreciate about Dreckman is he's not whining that it hurt him. Now here comes the bunt from Morris. They've got to make the play. Just got Matt Morris, and it moves Marrero over to third. The sacrifice is good, 1-4. But back to Dreckman. He didn't even as much as say ouch, and that had to hurt Al.
Well, it hurt his pride, not so much his leg.
He'll have a bruise.
Watch Langston on this ball. 7-time Gold Glover. Now see, he looked to see. Instead of just panicking or doing something, he still had the presence of mind to say, will it roll foul? And then he made the determination, no, it wouldn't, but I still can get the runner at first base. And he didn't panic with his throw either. He threw a strike.
Sacrifice is good. Now Pat Kelly, average at 333.
This is one of those situations where it did benefit having the pitcher bat in the 8th spot. If you look at,
I'm sorry, Al, he tried to suicide, Pat Kelly did yesterday, and missed.
I was going to say, if you look at what a big part of our strategy has been the last couple weeks, it has been the suicide squeeze. Also an indication not much firepower down at the end of the order.
Infield is in for Kelly. Marrero with his lead down at third. Full swing. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Pat Kelly.
Coming into this game, Kelly really has hit extremely well against Langston. 357 average with the home run, and that's 10 for 68.
Off-speed pitch way out in front, trying to fool Kelly. Hangs in there. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I mean, I read my own writing. 10 for 68 doesn't make 357. $10 for 28. Big difference.
I like that a lot better. 1-2 pitch. Foul the breaking pitch off again. Russo said he likes the idea of Kelly hitting 9th. A guy that should have a pretty good on-base percentage hitting down there, rather than a Marrero or a Pagnazzi or one of those guys who really is not going to have a high on base, almost defeating the purpose of having a regular hitter in the 9-hole. And Kelly hit 9th most of his time before he started piling up the injuries, when he played as a regular second baseman for the Yankees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marrero at third. To the right side. That's going to be foul. Just off the end of the bat and off the plate as well, and Kelly will do it again. 2-2. Royce Clayton on deck. started it with a double, ground double off the left foot of third base umpire Bruce Breckman. He's at third now after the Matt Morris sacrifice was good. He's there with one out. 2-2 pitch on its way. Fly ball left field. That'll get the run home. So Kelly puts the ball in the air. There's the catch by Vaughn. There's Eli Marrero scoring the 4th run for the Cardinals. So Pat Kelly does the job with a sacrifice fly to left field. Well, you double, then you move him to third with the sacrifice hit. The sacrifice fly scores him. That is the 3rd RBI for Kelly in a Cardinal uniform, and the Redbirds lead 4-1.
Royce Clayton.
Royce Clayton has been on fire in his first 2 at-bats. In the first, crushed one. A line drive smacked off the outfield wall, and he was able to get to third, then pulled it a little more out.
A little bit more, picked up his 4th home run, 28th RBI, so halfway, but the toughest part of hitting for the cycle. You know, and Walt Jocketty, who's on this trip, once again, sort of in a dilemma. You know, what do I do with my potential free agents?
High fly ball, left center field. Clayton tried to rack up more total bases and got under it for the 3rd out, but the Cardinals do manufacture another run. Redbirds on top, 4-1. Cardinal fans, this break in the action was brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. Bottom of the 4th, the great Tony Gwynn to lead it off. He flied out to center field his first time. Averages .312 as he stands in. Fly ball left center field, way back. Ron Gant near the track makes the catch. Tony Gwynn just missed, putting one out the opposite way.
Eight-time batting champion.
Third baseman, Gaetti.
Some people say just throw it down the middle. Let him confuse himself whether he wants to inside out, you know, pull off the pitch, do whatever he wants. But Tony's just a tremendous hitter.
Caminiti takes a ball. He's 0 for 1. Caminiti grounded out to Clayton in the first inning. Here's his current average at .279. Ball and a strike as he fouls that off. What a gamer this guy is. Injuries got him off to a slow start, but you take a look, Al. 16 homers, 54 RBIs, respectable batting average. He does the job at third base. Gives you 100% every day, every inning, every at-bat.
He took an 0 for yesterday in Cincinnati, but he's .397 with 9 doubles, 6 home runs, 15 RBIs in the last 19 games. And during that time, he had a 3 home run day last Sunday in Los Angeles.
When he's healthy, he's a great player. When he's hurt, he's still out there giving you 100%.
Oh, yeah, and he can play Gold Glove defense also at third.
What's fun about his Gold Glove defense is it might not be the beautiful, acrobatic Brooks Robinson stuff, but he gets the job done. He'll battle everything, knock it down, and he's got a great arm. There's Kelly, swings it over in sidearm fashion, 2 away. Greg Vaughn stands in. He has the only hit, the only RBI, and the only Padre run in this ballgame. How did he do that? Take a look.
There's a breaking ball that just hung there for him, and Greg now 35 home runs, and he is the only thing between Matt Morris and perfection.
Morris now has retired 8 in a row. Vaughn's average at .312, now 35 homers and 85 RBIs. Missed, 1-1.
He's also the only player to hit 4 home runs into the second deck right here at the Q.
Just missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. fastball. 3-1.
You really have to almost treat Vaughn such as other clubs treat McGwire.
And Morris is doing that, you can tell.
Well, all of a sudden you can't let him beat you in a ball game.
Took a hack, just missed, but it's a pop-up and foul ground, and Eli Marrero makes the easy catch to end the inning. 9 in a row retired by Matt Morris. U.S. Postal Service's out-of-town scores. We got a bunch. Scott Carl wins. Philly wins 3-1. Cubbies do it again. This time they beat the Braves. Pittsburgh over the Mets. They're tied in the 9th in Houston. No score in L.A. 3-1 Giants lead. In the American League, the city never sleeps. 17 innings. That's right. Detroit wins. They're playing in the 3rd. Cleveland on top. And that's all we got. How about that? We somehow got through there. Lankford swing and a miss. Ray's had a good night so far. Double an RBI, a walk and a run scored. Hitting .275 now. One and one. Ray Lankford has 15 homers and 50 RBIs. And there he hits a shot into left. Vaughn can't catch up to it. Hit very hard. No chance for a double. Ray Lankford now 2 for 2 with a walk, and Ray doing a nice job against Langston. And he's on base again for Mark McGwire.
It looks like a lot of the Cardinal players are taking the approach of hitting Langston to the opposite field. Even Mac took one to the opposite field, but only by accident. And look at the camera contingent.
They are here. Boy, in St. Louis, it's like a rock concert with all the flash bulbs going when Mark comes up, and it's on every pitch. Padres want to figure out what to do about the big redhead. I don't know if there's anything you can do, Al.
You can stall long enough for Brian Bullringer to get ready. Come in to pitch to him.
That's certainly one option, right? And they're going to go to him right now. The Padres said, nope. Langston, we can't let you inflict any more damage on yourself. We'll be back in a minute. Back in San Diego, Mark Langston hits the showers, his first bad performance here at Qualcomm. Brian Bullringer, while 5-1, has a 5.1 ERA, Al Roboski, and the right-hander comes in to face Mark McGwire.
5 wins are a career high for him. He was in the American League with the Yankees, so these two probably have faced each other.
First pitch to McGwire is a fastball, misses outside. Lankford aboard with a leadoff base hit. That misses outside. 2-0. Bullringer has had trouble with walks. It's one of the reasons for the high ERA. 33 walks in 45 innings.
McGwire's 2 for 4 against this young man who makes his home in Fenton after being born in St. Louis.
Fouled off. 2-1.
Bullringer pitched for Merrimack Junior College.
Many good ones do. Consistently one of the best JUCO programs. High fly ball, deep left center field. Mark McGwire's done it again. Number 43. And Mark McGwire now has tied Johnny Mize for the Cardinals' all-time season home run record. 43 homers.
Set a new Cardinal record for home runs as a right-handed batter. With a fastball up, he just opens up on it, turns it. No outfielder moves at all. And another one into the second deck. So these fans have seen not only Vaughn hit one up there, now they see McGwire. and gives the Cardinals now a 6-1 lead.
95 RBIs, 43 home runs. The big redhead crushes.
Told you
the
when
Bo-Ringer pitch.
we saw Matt, the bat boy, Mac's son, we knew he was going to get a home run, at least one tonight.
No, that one's off Jordan's bat, is caught in foul territory. Take a look at this, folks. Great camera work by our San Diego crew. Now watch this ball come down. Way back. Nice work, fellas. Into that second deck. Ron Gant with one out. There's a strike to get in there. How about that, Al? The historic Cardinal franchise. McGwire now in mid-July has tied the all-time season record from the great big cat Johnny Mize, the original big cat.
I got to know Johnny Mize the last few years of his life. Yeah. He was a big man. McGwire's a big man, but
Gomez, long throw, and he got it. Good play by Gomez. 2 down.
what separates McGwire from other power hitters is a short, compact swing. Great follow through.
Top handoff, gets that extension.
Charlie Lau theory of hitting. But to have a big man do it, he was developed a compact swing, and now his great knowledge of the strike zone and not going after pitches that would get himself out. You know, he is such a complete hitter.
Well, I got news for young Matt. He's staying with the team. He's going to have to make up school in September somehow. I don't know, we'll have to get him tutors or something.
Well, I heard they were just going to give him your paycheck.
That's not enough. That wouldn't pay for enough, Al.
It's probably his allowance, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, the youngster got that started again last weekend. He said he kissed his bat on. He had to come back to Southern California. Well, now he's here, and they ring up Gary Gaetti for the third time, and the Jackman is not happy. Take one more look for now. Oh, my. Number 43. Welcome back on Fox Sports Midwest, where Mark McGwire in the chase to catch Roger Maris has hit number 43 tonight.
Well, how about not only 43, but he's 3 for 3. Pair of singles. And people ask me all the time, you think he will break the record? Well, all he has to do is just hit home runs at his normal pace. The same pace throughout his career, and he will break it by plenty. It's just a question, will they pitch to him?
This is Wally Joyner leading it off against Morris. Cardinals on top 6-1. Number 406 in McGwire's career, 406. 3-0, and Morris falls behind Wally Joyner. We heard somebody on our mic down there saying slow him down to Wally Joyner. On our crowd mic, actually our effects mic, pointed toward the field. One hop. Kelly knocks it down, but he's not going to be able to throw out Wally Joyner, and almost threw it away. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you in part by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. If you depend on your car, depend on Dobbs. And by Steak and Shake. Extra innings, we're open 24 hours. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
Well, isn't it nice, though, to see Wally Joyner got a base hit, but to see the way Kelly played that, the old-fashioned way. You know, he tried to do whatever he could. He knew he was going to get a bad hop, but he took it right in the chest. Didn't lay it. He tried to make an old-fashioned out.
Leadoff infield single. Only the second hit of the ball game. as we're here in the 5th inning. Hard hit, base hit. Joyner won't even think about going to third base. Jordan comes up with it quickly. Steve Finley gets his first hit. So after retiring 9 in a row, 2 straight base hits.
Extending Finley's hitting streak to 9 games. And just a fastball right down the middle, up maybe slightly. That's like trying to get ahead of hitters that on occasion you'll give up a base hit, but mathematically it's not that high.
Carlos Hernandez stands in. He was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning.
Also a perfect candidate for a double play ball.
That would be nice. Coming with the heat, and it's 1-1.
Matt is just, the minute these hitters give him the chance, he's ready to pitch.
On the outside corner with the heat, 1-2, just like one of your mentors.
Well, Bob Gibson, but you know, we talk so many times about the psychological edge of a pitcher. And when you see a pitcher working fast, you know he's not intimidated or afraid.
Breaking pitch and a beauty, but fouled off, and it's 1-2.
When you're on the mound and you can't wait to get going, you know, that tells that hitter that, wait a minute, you know, he wants to come right after me.
Joyner at second, Finley at first, nobody out. Hernandez stays alive. How the Cardinals play Hernandez. One-two pitch. Oh, it's going to be a double play. Morris stuck out the glove, snagged it, and retires. Steve Finley with the quick throw over to first. Hard hit back through the box, and Morris, in pretty good fielding position, snags it. He may not have had a choice.
No, it's self-defense. Coming right back at him, sticks the glove down, makes the play. All the runners, you know, if he would have gone to second first, it might have been a triple play. But now we're really getting greedy.
This is Chris Gomez, strike 1. Cardinal pitchers and a lot of other pitchers have been targets this year, some dangerously in harm's way. Most recent, Billy Wagner. There's a check swing. Gaetti charges. Scoop strolls on the run and makes the play. But Matt Morris makes the play, and he gets out of the inning after 2 leadoff hits. Hey kids, on Friday, August 14th, the Cardinals take on the Pirates. It's St. Louis Children's Hospital, and yes, I am a grown-up saying Smoochie the Frog Beanie Baby night at the ballpark. First 20,000 fans age 15 and under with a paid admission will receive the genuine Thai 1998 release Beanie Baby, Smoochie the Frog. Friday the 14th, Cardinals and the Pirates. This is Eli Marrero. Ball 1 to him. Hard hit, but right at Chris Gomez. And Bullringer has retired 4 in a row.
A lot of energy for Bullringer. He also went to Northwest High School in St. Louis. He was backing up first.
That's the way we teach him.
And I think everyone at Northwest says, hey, we hope he does well. And I hope he gives up another home run to McGwire.
This is Matt Morris, 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. That sacrifice bunt was key in the run the Cardinals scored in the 4th. 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 1 more in the 4th, and 2 more in the 5th. It's 6-1 St. Louis. 2-1. Well, Tony La Russa has a lead. How far will he go with Matt Morris tonight? 2-1.
You know,
We were talking to him in his office, and Not so much pitch count, but just wants to see how Matt does.
Yeah, you know, he's relatively comfortable with him coming as making his third start after being on the disabled list. You know, and there was a pitch count before, but now he's kind of in the mode that I'm going to watch and see how he performs out there.
Payoff pitch. He walks the pitcher for Pat Kelly. And when we talk about pitch counts, I think sometimes some folks start to think of them as a crutch instead of just a gauge. Tony La Russa told us you always have to look at how the guy is doing. Just let the numbers aid your decision.
Well, you know, you don't want to keep on running a guy out there time after time, sort of like a Stottlemyre when you're getting into, you know, 120 pitches plus consistently. And now they're going to, and Matt's saying he doesn't want the jacket, so Matt will turn around and run back. No, I guess they don't do that to 10-year-olds, right? But see, Carney Lansford, well, by the way, Carney Lansford is coaching first base with Dave McKay having a back problem. His back went out on him the other day.
They don't do it to 10-year-olds who are named McGwire. That's Carney Lansford over at first. Great right-handed hitter in his time. To the left side. Over to second for one. Viras on to first. Oh, to first base on a bang-bang play. Well, the double play gets Bowringer and the Padres out of the inning. The Cardinals lead it 6-1. Join Ray Lankford and other Cardinal celebrities on the 1999 official Cardinals cruise. Join us on the prestigious Holland America line once again and sail the Vindam into the popular Caribbean ports of Cozumel, Grand Cayman, Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and America's newest private island experience, Half Moon Key. Call our good friend, Classy Pat Blassie, over at Altair Travel for more information. Make your reservation, 314-968-9600 or 1-800-844-5598. And if you don't want to float, why don't you drive? Sunday on Fox Sports Midwest, it's Formula One racing. Schumacher's third straight checkered flag has him just 2 points behind Mika Hakkinen and the Ferrari and McLaren's battle, and they roll into Austria, the Austrian Grand Prix, Sunday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest.
Brian Bowringer bounces out to his former teammate, Pat Kelly.
Second baseman, number 4,
Matt Morris continues to go right after these Padres hitters. His fourth start against the Padres, he's 1-0 lifetime with an ERA just over 1.
Gilby Olvera stands in, 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. Into left field, but foul. Tried to go the other way. 1-1.
Gilby gets another bat.
They have Morris with 79 pitches.
53 strikes, 26 balls. That's about right. He's probably thrown about a third of those to Kilvio. And we had a couple of bats, particularly back in the third inning where he fouled off several deliveries.
Nice pitch, but missed. 2-1. Fouled off. Morris has gone with the fastball, the hard stuff, more tonight. That one breaking ball he missed, and Vaughn put it in the seats.
Well, I think what he is, he's had such a good fastball, good location, he's multiplied that pitch by going in and up and away, down and away.
Backhand McGwire. Morris gets over and makes the play. Nicely done on both ends, Al.
Big Mac is much more than just a power hitter. He's a complete ball player. And former Gold Glove winner. Last few games, we've seen him really show his defensive prowess by going to his right and really his ability to hit a pitcher on the run. It was a little bit behind Matt Morris. And Matt, being such a good athlete, was able to adjust and still get his foot down on the bag. Matt's having fun out there. There's another breaking ball. But he used to be the curve ball, and now he's added that slider. Well, he'll still throw a lot of the curve balls to the left-handed batters and then a lot more sliders to right-handers. And at times tonight, he's thrown a lot of sliders that you really didn't notice.
Is there a real strategy there as Tony Gwynn puts one into left, but Ron Gann runs it down, and we'll maybe talk about that in the next inning. But 3 up and 3 down, nothing across. In fact, 6 in a row retired if you count the double play. 6-1 Cardinals. Top of the order for the Cardinals here in the 7th. Royce Clayton hits one deep to center field. Steve Finley goes back. That makes a fine running catch nearly 400 feet away. Let's take a look at our Auto Tire What's on Tap. Well, what's on tap? We are. The Cardinals and the Padres on Fox Sports Midwest tomorrow night. 9 o'clock, we're back at it.
I might also make a notation that we'll be with you Wednesday from San Francisco. It's not on the original schedule, but a makeup game. And that'll be a lot of fun to see the stick.
Absolutely.
Still the stick, isn't it?
It's still the stick.
It's still the point.
It's still on Candlestick Point. That's exactly right. Just like this is Jack Murphy Field, even though Qualcomm has bought the name of the stadium. And they've made some nice improvements here. Lankford with one away. Fouled off. 1-1. Ray's had a nice night out. 2 for 2 with a walk, single and a double, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Hitting .277 as he stands in there. The totals for you. 2-1.
What I like about the Cardinal attack tonight is a couple crooked numbers on the board, but they have scored runs in 4 of the first 6 innings. You know, Bob, how we see so many times a team would jump out to a lead and then just the offense would die. At least tonight they're sustaining it.
Cardinals 6 runs on 9 hits. Had a tendency lately leave a lot of runners on. Tonight they've been pushing them across, although actually have had a couple of innings where it could have been huge innings, stifled themselves, but can't complain about 6 runs in 6 innings. That's fouled off. Count remains full, 3-2.
Now, we were talking about the dilemma that Walt Jocketty, the general manager's in. You're 13 games back. Do you start trading your potential free agents? What do you do?
Went down and got it, but hit it right to Wally Joyner. Bullringer covers. 2 down.
But I know.
Take a look at our Southwestern Belt trivia as Mark McGwire stands in. You know, Mark hit a home run tonight. Here is our question. 16 years ago today, somebody hit their first big league home run. Let's see. Mike Ramsey's out. Who could it be? The first pitch to McGwire. Ball 1. Here's our guy, Willie McGee. His rookie season. 1 ball, no strikes. Bullringer misses again.
There's Willie, and I'm going to say to finish my point about what to do with the free agents, after talking with Walt, or not after talking with Tony La Russa, Tony's in no mood to pack in the season. You know, he wants the troops to be charged and said, hey, good couple hard weeks of playing baseball. We're right back in the wild card race.
Broken bat, right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Mark McGwire is 4 for 4. Mark McGwire is using the whole ballpark and even out of the ballpark. That was his 43rd home run, but along with the 2-run shot, he has 3 base hits, including a cue shot and a broken bat single, both to right field. McGwire is aboard. For Jordan, lifts one into center field. On the run, on the run, on the run. Can't get there. McGwire makes the turn, goes to third. He'll get there. Sliding into third base. Brian Jordan dumps one into the Bermuda Triangle. And it's 1st and 3rd with 2 away.
Brian's got a 2-for-4 night, getting himself back into multi-hit games. Breaking ball right off the end of the bat. There's the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody can come up with it. Veras gets it back in quickly.
And with 2 outs, McGwire didn't take anything for granted. He knows with 2 outs you run.
No, and you didn't take anything for granted. You saw him slide.
That's right. He's a good baseball player all the way around, as you pointed out earlier. This is Ron Gant. Looking for his first hit of the night. He has 1 walk.
Ronnie Gant can pick up so many easy RBIs. I know there's 2 outs, but the theory still will apply of taking the ball, because predominantly they're going to pitch him away, go to the right field.
And then if you say, well, I'm a power hitter. Well, no, you go to right field, you go take that outside pitch away, they'll come back into you, won't they?
Well, not only that, but he's strong enough that he can drive the ball to all parts of the field, including right field.
But you know how sometimes hitters say, oh, I got to pull the ball. Well,
but what you're saying is if you start making people pay, then they'll change and they'll come into you, and you can take that one, and if they make a mistake on the inner half, then you can pull the ball and hit it out of the ballpark. Easiest guy to pitch to is a dead pull power hitter.
2 balls and a strike to Ron Gant. McGwire at 3rd, Jordan at 1st. 2 outs, the pitch. That miss, 3-1. See the Cardinal runners on your Fox box in the upper left-hand corner. The dot on your left is McGwire. The dot on your right is Jordan. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 3-1. Gant was gunning. Now will Ron Gant protect the plate? Can Ronnie back off? Dave Stewart watching Brian Boehringer.
Somebody said Dave Stewart should be the rookie pitching coach of the year.
Runners going. Ron Gant fouls it off.
Dave Stewart, I had a long talk with him today, and talking about his relationship with Tony La Russa, what it's like to play for him, what is it that he liked about him, and he just rave reviews not only about Tony but also Dave Duncan.
Jordan running on the payoff pitch, and it's fouled off again. There's Tony La Russa. He wants to get greedy in this game. Get everything he can get. Jordan running again, fouled off again. After the first 2 were out here in the 7th, McGwire broken bat single to right field, and Jordan dumped a single into right center field. So 2 bloop hits have Boehringer on the ropes, perhaps. Right center field with Tony Gwynn. Lets it slice right to him, and he makes it. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, it's 6-1 St. Louis. Let's take a look at what's coming your way tonight on Fox Sports News after the game. For that, we'll take you to the Fox Network Center. We are awarding our Hoover pickup of the game tonight to our San Diego camera crew for picking up this towering blast in the San Diego night. And actually, it's a chance to watch McGwire's 43rd home run again. There's no way to see that too many times. Ken Caminetti leads it off in the 7th, and he hits one deep to right field. Jordan at the track, at the wall. He makes the catch. How about a Bud Light? There's our Hoover pickup. Ken Caminetti put a charge into one. Jordan tracked it, went to the wall, leaped, and made the catch.
Looked like he kind of hit it leaning backwards, so he got underneath it, but he didn't really step into the drive, and it died right there on the warning track. Matt Morris is having a lot of fun tonight. I mean, that's what happens when you have a 6-1 lead and you've only allowed 3 hits. I mean, he's just out there having fun and showing what pitching's all about. You talked about, last inning, you're talking about how he sets up guys. Remember, he just missed with a curveball there, but he used to throw fastballs, and he could sink it and he could ride it. But he'd throw a lot of curveballs to the right hand. Well, that was the only pitch he had. This year, now that he has a slider, he pitches a lot like Stottlemyre. He'll throw predominantly his slider to the right-handed batters, the curveball to the left-handers. But it's also nice if you don't have a good release point on one of those pitches, you're going to have the other one to go back with.
And he is pitching differently to Vaughn than to any other hitter tonight, and he learned a lesson. Vaughn took me out of here in his first at bat, and now I have to be careful to him. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Midwest. Big Cat and the world's best pitching staff of the Braves rolling towards another division crown. Scott Rowland leads the Phils as they try to claw their way into wild card position. Braves Phillies, Baseball Thursday, 6:30, Fox Sports Midwest.
Well, Matt's a little bit upset, and really, you know what? Tony's only thinking of his best interest. It'd be a double switch. Gant's coming out, Mabry's going to left field, and Lance Painter's coming in. But it's only to protect Matt, but it was the only guy that he showed any, giving in to one batter tonight, and that was Vaughn.
Morris out. What a night tonight. Lance Painter in. Stay with us. How about young Matt Morris? He was having fun until he had to come out of the game. Threw 90 pitches. And the Cardinals said, "You've had a great night tonight, Matt. We're going to double switch. Sit down. We're going to win this ball game for you." John Mabry goes into left field, replacing Ron Gant. He'll hit in Matt's spot on the order, and Lance Painter comes in, taking Gant's spot on the order. And Lance Painter had a bit of a dead arm in June, but has come back to pitch pretty well in July.
He really has, and he's retired all 5 batters he faced to close out Saturday's game, striking out 2. Retired the lone batter he faced in last night's game while stranding 2 runners.
Hitters are hitting .248 off Lance Painter. 1 on, 1 out. And he gets ahead of Wally Joyner here. He comes in and has 2 lefties to face.
Lefties are only batting .200 against him.
Oh, he caught that outside corner.
Well, Marrero set up outside there. Lance hit his target, and Charlie Williams gave him the strike. He's got in trouble with some breaking balls, but I think a lot of people forget about all the good pitching he's done this year.
Yeah, drops down there, a little more sidearm. He can do some things.
He's got much better stuff. He's not your conventional left-hander like an old guy. He's still young and he throws hard. He's got good stuff.
At the second baseman, can they get 2? Kellett, Clayton, McGwire. Painter comes in and does a number on the Padres. Induces the double play. Cardinals have come back to hit. 6-1 St. Louis.
Welcome back to Qualcomm Park. Here, hanging breaking ball, and Gary Gaetti hits it deep to center field. Finley looks up and it's a home run.
How about the Jackman? Well, he got Langston out of there, who had rung him up 3 straight times. And the Jackman says goodbye. Hits his 9th of the year. And it's 7-1.
Hanging breaking ball. Bowringer in his 4th inning to work hung this breaking ball, and Gary Gaetti looking for it, and he hits it deep. 341st of his career. And the Cardinals lead 7-1. This is the way we envision the season to.
That's right. This would have been a blueprint for what we expected for Gaetti. His 9th home run, and there's a little bloop on the infield, charging Gomez, short hop throw, and he gets Eli Marrero for the first out. John Mabry will stand in his first at bat. I know I've told the story a bunch of times, but some folks have asked me recently, because I haven't told it in a while, Al, why I call him the Jackman. because of his number 8 race car. The clean shower number 8 Mack Attack race car in the Busch Grand National Series. And he says he's always wanted to be the jack man in the crew, running the jack. Well, he's the jack man again tonight with his 9th dinger. This is Mabry, swing and a miss.
Mabes came in part of the double switch, or his first plate appearance. 259 average, 6 home runs. Did have the game winner last night as he got his 29th RBI.
That was a big hit, went the other way. That's what we like to see from John, isn't it?
When he stays within himself, his natural strength is going to the opposite field. And he tries to please others, and some of his critics who say, well, he doesn't hit the ball, the long ball, doesn't drive enough runs. He started pulling off the pitch, trying to pull everything, and then his average goes down. He's a natural 300 hitter. Sure, he doesn't run well, but he's got a great attitude, great in the clubhouse, play any position and do anything the manager says.
Chop foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. 3-2. Former roommate John Mabry, Mark Sweeney, now with the Padres.
Sweeney told me today, he said, wait till we start bunting on Mabry if he's playing third.
Full count. Fouled off. Optimum goal for John Mabry as hitter, would it be to have Mark Grace type seasons? 300 hitter, 290 or so, 75 ribbies, line drives, good defense. Mabry with a base hit right there. Nice line drive into right field. Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you in part by Budweiser. Brew and refresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Southwestern Bell, go wireless with someone you know. And by Southwest Airlines, with fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. Fly Southwest. Mabry's on board.
That was a good at bat by Mabry.
And Pat Kelly spanks one into left field. It goes into the corner. Mabry makes the turn, stumbles around second, and they'll hold him up at third. So Kelly comes up with a double. Kelly's at second, Mabry at third with 1 out. Pat Kelly turned on that pitch from Boehringer.
I think Boehringer in his 4th inning of work, maybe tiring a little bit here. There's still time to capitalize. His 3rd hit in this inning. And he's got a little pop in his bat, so a nice pickup. Kelly coming for cash considerations from the Blue Jays, and
they want to talk about it. Stewart
allows Ramirez to get a little bit of time to warm up down there. The only left-hander in the Padres bullpen, Roberto Ramirez. Bruce Bochy, he's seen his ball club. They've got a nice big lead, 11 games over the Giants, and they have a 33-9 home record.
Shortstop, Royce Clayton.
Cardinals have already scored a run here in the 8th on a Gary Gaetti home run. A single and a double at second and third. Infield playing in. Royce Clayton's 2 for 4, a triple and a home run tonight. Scored twice. Cardinals now have 14 hits. Called strike on the inside corner. $14 hits, and 4 of those belong to Mark McGwire. Two and 2. 7-1 game, but the infield is in. Padres taking some infield in practice. Full count to Clayton. He walked him. Bases are loaded for Ray Lankford. And will we maybe see the left-hander right here? Here comes Bruce Bochy. I think we're going to have a pitching change and maybe a double switch.
Laritz is going to go to first base.
Jim Laritz will come in the double switch. Ramirez will come in to face the left-hand hitting Ray Lankford. We'll straighten it all out for you in a moment. Take a look at our Budweiser game summary. 7-1. Lots you could talk about, but how about the 43rd homer of the year for McGwire? Matt Morris was terrific, looking for his first win. The Cardinals 3 games over 500 when McGwire homers. Maybe they'll get win number 20 for Big Mac. Our Budweiser game summary brought to you by the King of Beers, official beer of Major League Baseball. John Mabry over at third. Pat Kelly at second base. And Royce Clayton over at first. Ray Lankford will come in and he'll face this lefty, Roberto Ramirez.
There's a young man. Well, of course, you never know how young he is because he's a veteran in the Mexican League. He was a 4-time All-Star in 7 years of pitching for the Mexico City Reds. He compiled a 73-32 record with a 3.34 ERA during that span. His winning percentage was one of the highest in the Mexican League history. His nickname in Mexico is the Machine Gun, but he actually has had more trouble with left-handed batters. Left-handers are batting .333 with 3 home runs. The right-handers are .154.
Comes inside and misses. Lankford's having himself a night. Couple of hits, couple of runs scored, an RBI, and he's got the bases loaded and only 1 out. Fouled off, 1-1. Well, Ramirez is coming into it.
Kind of a dangerous sign, too.
Maybe he's a machine gun because he always jams.
Well, maybe that's why he's having trouble with left-handed batters.
The machine gun jams.
He hasn't bailed on him yet, but if a left-hander bails and that lefty leaves that ball in the inner half, it's right there with the sweet part of his bat. Now, he tried to go away there, but still was in the middle of the plate, but up.
2-1.
Hasn't allowed an earned run in his last 4 games.
There's a called strike. He went away and got it across the corner. 2-2.
Much more effective pitch. I'm not sure it was really a strike, but it was called one.
On deck, McGwire. Popped it up. Major league pop-up on the infield. Caminiti backs up to the grass and he falls down. That should have been Gomez's ball.
You know, you see the reason why it's called an infield fly rule. But Caminiti, that's why after he fell down, after he backpedaled, he got up real quickly. He's backpedaling here and he falls down, but when he gets up, because those runners, the batter is out on an infield fly rule, but the runners can advance at their own discretion.
Why wouldn't Gomez call him off that?
Have you ever seen Caminiti throw a right hook at someone?
See, I knew you have the answer. I knew you would have the answer. Now Ramirez with the bases loaded. Mabry, Kelly, Clayton at first, and McGwire stands in. The numbers tell the story. Here's the pitch to Mark. Ball 1. McGwire's average at .311. 4 for 4 tonight. A homer. Pair of RBIs. Two balls. Well, Ramirez has got his pick his poison here, Al. Young Matt is giddy, just like every other Cardinal fan. I don't blame him. Way inside, 3-0.
Well, now these
Padres fans, they don't like it, do they, Al?
No, they want to, they want to see their Padres win, but I think they figured late in the ball game, 8th inning, trailing 7-1, they want to see another home run.
He walks in a run, and the fans don't like that. Well, McGwire picks up his 96th RBI on a bases-loaded walk, and the San Diego fans are not happy with Roberto Ramirez. Not at all. Mabry scores. It's 8-1. This is Brian Jordan. Popped it up. And it's out of play.
Told you that Ramirez has held right-handed batters to about a 154 average. 2 for 13. Like that last pitch might have been a screwball. That's his magic pitch for right-handers.
That one broke back. That was a nasty pitch.
Curveball there.
That had a late break on it, too.
They call it a slider here, but it's 77 miles an hour.
He's ahead of Jordan. 0-2. Bases loaded. Inside 1-2. Well, Ramirez was able to get Lankford to pop up, and then he issued the bases loaded walk to McGwire. Now he's got Brian Jordan hitting .328. Jordan's got a pair of hits. And he swings right through the breaking pitch for the third out. The strikeout for Ramirez. Picked his poison, gave up a run to save face. Do all fans love home runs? Let's look and listen to our Discover Card Payback Playback. Al Hrabosky, absolutely Ruthian. The greatness to have everybody rooting for you is unbelievable.
And truly, everyone in baseball, every baseball person that you talk to rooting for Mark McGwire because they know of the quality of the individual. Not only, I mean, he's just been doing it year after year after year. He had 49 home runs in his rookie season. Was an Olympian. He was on the '84 Olympic team, but
you've heard the phrases, do the right thing, act like you're supposed to.
Yep.
Makes life pretty simple. That's what Mark McGwire does.
Team player, not selfish at all.
Popped it up back this way. One ball, 2 strikes to Steve Finley. Swing and a miss. Lance Painter gets Finley. Lance came in and got a double play on the first hitter he faced in the 7th. Now he strikes out Finley.
That is probably the last batter he'll face. There's a drop-down breaking ball. And because only the left-hander in the bullpen, Tony's saying, hey, I'll get him out. After a very fine job, he got 3 outs, only facing 2 batters. Double play and then the strikeout.
John Frascatore will replace him. Frascatore's getting a ton of work. calling the game. 2 hours of Fox Sports News. That's right, the camps have opened. Signings beginning. New York, they're running. And more action from the Goodwill games. It takes 2 hours to bring you all the highlights. I guarantee you Mark McGwire will be on the highlights. Guaranteed. John Frascatore hopes to avoid all the highlights tonight.
Well, Frascatore appearing for the 45th time this year. Boy, he just out there all the time. Nice work by Lance Painter. Came in, bailed out Morris with a double play ball, then struck out first man he faced. He'll be ready for tomorrow night.
Fly ball on the first pitch. And our man Kelly makes the catch. Well, Hernandez swinging at the first pitch. Down 8-1.
Batting for the shortstop Gomez. Number 17, Ed Giovanola.
Giovanola pinch hitting. For Gomez. Giovanola hitting .255, and Frascatore gets ahead.
Came over from the Atlanta Braves. Goes from one winner to another.
Could it be him?
No.
Just trying to be nice to Ed. He won't hurt you.
No, he's hit .273 in his last 12 games.
To the right side. Kelly goes to the grass to make the play. And Frascatore comes in. Gets two hitters easily in the Cardinal bullpen with a nice lead. Hanging on to it as nicely. And Kelly makes the final play. Cardinals lead the Padres 8-1. Will number 44 come tomorrow? There's only one way to be sure. Watch the action. Fox Sports Midwest will bring it to you at 9, the Cardinals and the Padres. We go to the top of the 9th. And we've got a pinch hitter for John Frascatore.
Batting for the pitcher Frascatore.
Brian Hunter.
Number 21, Brian Hunter.
Punts against Ramirez. And Ramirez gets ahead. Strike one. Brian Hunter hitting .210.
I like what Tony's doing right now. You know, by having the very short outing for both Painter and Frascatore, you can bring them back tomorrow. With a nice, comfortable lead, you bring in Brantley.
Hard hit. Base hit. Into the corner. Hunter rounds first. He's going to go for second. Here's the throw. He is safe standing up. New left fielder out there for the Padres. And that is our buddy Mark Sweeney. So a leadoff double here in the 9th. Brian Hunter takes Ramirez down the line. Bruce Dreckman, the umpire, is not paying attention. He could have got over there and kicked that if he really would have tried.
Double by Hunter on a breaking ball, curveball.
Gary Gaetti hit his 9th home run in his last at bat.
I'm sure Gary, after he hit the home run, he said, Charlie, see, I'll tell you when those pitches are strikes. When they're strikes, I hit them out of the ballpark.
Kind of like Ted Simmons said that one time, now that's a strike, as I paraphrase.
Charlie Williams, home plate umpire, rung up Gaetti the first 3 times at the plate tonight, and he hit his 9th home run, 341st of his career. Had a nice little discussion after the 3rd one.
Boy, it's humid tonight. I think that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, Gary did it in a professional manner, and also give Charlie Williams credit that he let him have his say. There wasn't any problem with it to where, you know, one player was showing up the umpire.
Charlie didn't get the red ear.
Well, he just turned off the hearing aid.
There are the bosom buddies.
Maybe he's asking if he wanted to invest in the car.
Now that might actually be true. 3 balls and a strike. Chops to stay alive, but it's 3-2.
Need new tires for our next race, so you know, need a new investor.
There's actually a good chance that happened. Brian Hunter on at second base. To the right side, Gaetti advances the runner. Viras makes the play and throws out Gaetti. Hunter moves over to third, one away.
Hey, that's the little things that help you win a ball game. Gary gets him over there with one out to third base, where it should be an easy opportunity for Morello to bring him home, add to the lead. Gary does this by design. Goes out there with the intent of hitting the ball the right side. Obviously wanted to get it through and for a base hit, but his thinking process was, at the very least, I got to advance the runner.
With the heat, and he misses, ball one. Eli's 1 for 4 with a double. There you see it. .221 average. Ball two. Ball three, and Ramirez is all over the place. And Marrero walks on 4 pitches.
Ramirez is the 7th Mexican-born player to pitch for the Padres. They've always coveted having a Mexican player out here to appease the Mexican fans, bring them across the border, come over here and support Padres baseball.
Not a bad idea. The Expos and the Blue Jays like Canadian players, and it makes sense. John Mabry had a base hit and scored a run. Average at .262. First and third, one away. Hunter over at third. Popped it up. Shallow left center field. Coming on and making the catch is Finley. No one can advance. 2 down. That'll bring up Pat Kelly.
Hey, got a nice little note from Jeff Suwiski, formerly from St. Louis. He went to Afton High School. He had a great time at the class reunion last year. He also wanted to say hello to his mom and his baseball coach, Jerry Krupa.
Kelly hitting .357. He's got a base hit tonight. It was a double, and he drove in a run. 1 for 3 with a sacrifice. I'm glad you mentioned that because Mike and Dana Maz are here at Qualcomm. They're on, they just drove out. That's quite a drive to come see 2 games in San Diego. Get a break from the St. Louis humidity, although it's a little more humid here than you would expect. Mike and Dana Maz want to say hi to their family and friends back in St. Louis. You just did.
We'll also see if Ted and Gail Ramey are still married for a 3rd day tomorrow. I had their ticket number. I'm going to go check and see if everything's still heavenly peace with that household.
2-1 to Kelly. 2-2. Hunter on at third. He's now 7 for 27 as a pinch hitter. The pinch hit double to lead off the inning. Kelly swung and missed. The ball goes back to the screen. Here's the throw from Hernandez. Set. Hunter scores. And the fans are booing because this is not Padre baseball that they've come to expect here at the Q.
That's right. You know, with a record of 33-9 at home. You know, they're used to winning. But here's a good shot. Look, Kelly got right underneath, right through the legs, goes all the way. And Kelly running hard And don't ever put your head down after a strikeout. Sometimes that catcher misses it. Good things can happen. Who knows? We might be able to get McGwire back up again.
This is Clayton. The score, and it's been spread out. 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 more in the eighth, 1 here in the ninth, and it's first and second, 2 out. Three and 0. Guerrero at second. Kelly on at first. Two straight walks to Royce Clayton. Boy, oh boy.
So I'm telling you, we're going to get McGwire up here again.
That moves Marrero to third. Kelly to second.
Center fielder, Ray Lankford.
Why else would these fans all stay put in their seats?
I don't blame them. Lankford faces another lefty. He had good success against the crafty veteran left-hander. Para hits in a walk tonight.
As soon as they see a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, they're all going to go. Okay, we can leave now. Polanco, go back underneath.
McGwire's been given the rest of the evening off. I just heard somebody down in the stand say, "What are you doing, Tony?" We want to see him again.
Now look, you can see fans standing up and looking at the on-deck circle. Look at Max going, "You got to be kidding me."
Two balls and a strike for Ray. Drove in his 50th run of the season in this ball game. And it's 3 balls and a strike. Bases loaded, the pitch. Down the line, just foul. That would have scored at least 2 and probably 3. Well, I said earlier, will he hit number 44 tomorrow? The way this inning's going, that was number 43 to time with Johnny Mize, all-time for the Cardinals in a season. Fly ball, center field. Finley goes back. So does the ball to the wall. A grand slam. Ray Lankford with a 5 RBI night hits the salami.
And look at McGwire. Couldn't be happier for one of his teammates.
Cheers from everyone in the 13-run pool today.
16 home runs now for Ray. The 5 RBI sends him to 54. Challenge him. Fastball out over the plate. Sends Finley all the way back. He gives a chase, a jump, but he can't get there. And now the boos start.
Poor Placido Polanco. Ray Lankford with a grand slam home run. Now with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's the poor rookie Polanco, and the pitch to him. Fouled off.
4th career grand slam for Ray.
Marrero, Kelly, and Clayton scored in front of him. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Well, should Mark McGwire break the Maris record, and who now knows how many career records he'll break, Polanco will always be able to say, in that great season, I pinched hit for the big redhead. That's how much my manager thought of me. I have big muscles.
In a day when he was perfect at the plate.
One and two. Well, obviously it's fun at the ballpark, Al. 13 runs on 16 hits, but Matt Morris picks up his first win and was terrific again tonight. He has not had a stumble in his 4 starts, and they ring up Polanco to get the Padres out of the ninth. A 5-run ninth inning, thanks to the grand slam bomb from Ray Lankford. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Rejoice in the 13-run pool thanks to Ray Lankford's grand slam home run.
Well, just out away from him, and Finley all the way back. 16th home run of the season. And now with 5 RBIs on the night, Ray's numbers, just have 3 or 4 of those nights, you'll be able to pay for your fine for having your tag out of your hat.
The tag was out. Not good. Well, we've had a lot of fun tonight, and these are the kind of games I would call them closer therapy.
Well, Tony La Russa once again reiterated to me that how he feels that Jeff Brantley is slowly making progress, but this is an opportunity to get him an inning, to make him feel comfortable, be part of a win. Tony La Russa is definitely going to use him in some save situations down the road, but this is an opportunity to try and get arm strength.
Jim Leyritz will face Jeff Brantley, and it's a strike to get ahead. Leyritz is quite a pickup for the Padres. Those are his season numbers. He's hitting .350 for San Diego.
Jeff Brantley has been, we know his velocity is down, recovering from the surgery, and it was the doctors that made everyone believe, Jeff and Walt Jocketty, that he'd be back in spring training at full strength. Not the case. But what Jeff Brantley has to understand is he can't throw and pitch like he still has his high-octane fastball. He can still get people out with the stuff that he has if he pitches smart.
He's ahead of Jim Leyritz. No balls, 2 strikes.
And one of the real differences between the Cardinals and the Padres is the fact that when they lead after 8 innings, they have won their last 142 ball games straight. They have not surrendered a lead or lost a ball game when they left after 8. And Bruce Bochy will tell you, that's a manager's best dream.
That illustrates your point about a closer. You got to have it if you're going to contend. 1 and 2. 2 and 2.
Well, Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan get in an argument all the time. The argument is Tony feels that you build the most important part of your pitching staff is your closer. Then he wants to start it, or even a setup man. His closer setup man.
Hey, ring him up. Brantley gets the strikeout.
But Dave Duncan feels the most important part of the equation is your starting pitcher. I like Tony's idea better. You see, they're sitting here talking about what he can do to be successful. And Dave Duncan isn't a mechanics kind of guy. He's a real positive thinker. He'll work with what you have and really try to accentuate the positive part and make a pitcher feel that, yes, I can do the job.
Silvio Veras has the collar tonight. Average at 280.
Pretty good formula for defeating the Padres is to retire the first 3 hitters all night.
Veras, Gwynn, and Caminiti 0 for 9 to this point. And you give credit to Matt Morris. He's the one that did that 0 for 9. Gave up a bomb, a home run to Greg Vaughn in the 2nd. He walked Vaughn in the 7th. That was the last hitter he faced at 90 pitches. What a terrific outing for Morris. There's a called strike, 2-2.
Well, in the formula of Dave Duncan, Morris did exactly what he feels. You know, and I'll tell you too, you know, the starting pitcher sets the tempo of the ball game. Morris was so good that all of his teammates said, hey, we're going to win this game, and they were relaxed, and they went out there and pounded 16 hits and 13 runs.
Full count now to Viras. And he walks him. One on, one out. And now you get to the heart of the Padres. Gwynn Caminetti. Gwynn's average down to 310. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Hit the ball hard, but fly balls to the outfield all 3 times, and Brantley gets ahead. Almost fooled Gwynn.
That was a split finger.
One ball, 2 strikes.
I don't understand why Clovio Veras leads the team in stolen bases, why he doesn't just run down to second base. Ground ball in the infield could end this ball game.
Yeah, they would let him go down there.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing way back. They're allowing him to run. Why not take that base and
keep the inning going?
Stay out of a double play.
To the right side. Hunter will play to Brantley for the out, and Viras ends up at second base anyway. 2 down. So Brian Hunter in at first base. And this is Ken Caminetti. Just missed outside. Missed outside again. Caminetti 0 for 4, hitting .277. Tomorrow, Kent Merker against Kevin Brown. Right here on Fox Sports Midwest. And Caminetti walks. So now it's 2 on, 2 out for our buddy Mark Sweeney. Not a pinch hitting appearance for Mark, as he had come in for Vaughn to play left field earlier. Sweeney hitting only .215. Fouled it off, and Brantley gets ahead. Strange road trip on the West Coast. The old days, you'd go to the coast for a long time, 10 days or more. Cardinals will be gone a week now. 2 games here, 2 games in San Francisco, then 3 in Denver before you come home. There's a called strike, and he's ahead 0-2.
First time I came to the big leagues, I joined the ball club right here in San Diego. They had already been to San Francisco and Los Angeles. Then we went from San Diego to Chicago, Chicago to Pittsburgh. A 17-day road trip.
Oh, doctor.
I got more meal money on the partial trip than I just got in my 2-week paycheck.
Went and bought a new car with the meal money.
No, I had to go buy clothes because we had to wear a coat and tie.
1-2. To Sweeney. Veros at second. Caminiti at first to pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball game. That's one for the road. 13-1 the final score. Brantley comes in, walked a couple, but he struck out a couple, and the Cardinals, more importantly, get the win. They get the offense clicking against the Padres and win it 13-1, Al.
Well, it was a good ball game. Remember when Tony took over this ball game, we were at the point where we couldn't win here in San Diego, but that's a different story, and maybe he still will get that long winning streak. Now, how about Mac? 4 for 4 tonight, 3 RBIs, his 43rd home run, and a walk.
Our final score tonight, 13-1 Cardinals. Join us for our next Cardinal telecast tomorrow at 9. You've been watching the Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest, your regional home of Fox Sports Net. Now let's go to the Fox Network Center for Fox Sports News Prime Time.